I felt so much better after my son told me, Mom, we'll figure it out.
When something feels different, it could be Alzheimer's. Now is the time to talk. Visit alz.org/ourstories to learn more. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
COVID-19.
Different adapts, different overcomes, different keeps moving, different keeps thinking, different stays connected, different never stops dreaming. The University of Northampton invites you to a virtual open day for a taste of all the benefits of studying with us from this September. Search University of Northampton Virtual Open Days. It's the future, but different.
In line with government guidelines, face coverings are now compulsory on public transport. At Asda, you can get a 4-pack of Prima disposable face coverings for £2.80, or a 2-pack of washable face coverings from £2.50. Asda, we're all in this together. Selected stores subject to availability.
I was offered one.
I was offered one. Were you?
Yeah, I was offered one too.
1 2 1 2. I was offered one.
I was offered one.
Don't take our word for it. 9 out of 10 people said they were offered a great value deal with O2. Get yours today, in-store, online or by phone.
I was offered one too. O2 Retail Exit Survey 309 of 348 agreed with the statement. O2 offered me a great value deal. For full verification, see o2.co.uk/terms.
If you want to find out what the best smart tech is to keep an eye on your front door whilst you're out on your lunchtime run, you could ask a computer, or someone called Colin, or Priya, or Lewis, or one of our other tech experts on Shop Live, Curry's PC World's online video call experience.
Hi, it's Robin. Do you need some help finding the right tech?
Isn't it nice to get advice from another human being? They're just a click away. Go online to Shop Live at Curry's PC World.
Listen, that's a dream. Everyone has them, jingling away in the back of our minds. And most of the time, that's where dreams stay. So easy to ignore. Anything can drown them out, and everything does. But at Honda, we listen to our dreams. We get right up close. And on really good days, they become reality. From 2022, Honda's mainstream cars will only be hybrid or electric. Honda, the power of dreams.
Give yourself a Diet Coke break.
Tuesdays at KFC gonna get you like, wow, pow, chow, kapow, get down right now. If you know how, then take a bow. Because this deal's gonna raise a brow. Get 9 pieces of original recipe chicken for an eye-popping $5.99. What the? Every Tuesday at KFC. Participating restaurants ends 18th of August 2020. Tuesdays only, subject to availability, not available online.
Whether you're dreaming of a house the size of a football stadium or a football stadium in the back garden of your house, what you need is dream come true money. Luckily, Friday's Euro Million Super Jackpot is a massive £110 million. Now that's dream come true money. Euro Millions from the National Lottery. Play online or on the app. Estimated jackpot rules and procedures apply. Players must be 16 or over.
In case you didn't know, TuneIn lets you listen to the same radio stations you pick up on your home or car radio, except you can hear them from anywhere. If you want to find a station from somewhere else in the world, navigate to the By Location section under Browse. Keep exploring with TuneIn.
Buckle up, race fans.
NASCAR is back in the driver's seat.
And you can cut straight to the action here.
With the Performance Racing Network on TuneIn, you can hear PRN's live coverage of some of this year's top events.
As NASCAR's top drivers, Kevin Harvick,
Clint Boyer, and more get back on the track.
Search Performance Racing Network to listen and see upcoming races.
And breaking news 24 hours a day at Bloomberg.com, the Bloomberg Business app, and at Bloomberg Quick Take. This is a Bloomberg Business Flash.
Stocks are well off earlier highs, but still in the green. This came after a report indicated U.S. job market continues to climb from the crater created by the pandemic in the spring. We look at the numbers every 15 minutes throughout the trading day on Bloomberg Radio. The S&P is up 0.6%, up 18. The Dow is up 0.5%, up 137. And the NASDAQ is up 0.75%, up 76. The 10-year is currently up 2/32 with a yield of 0.66%. West Texas Intermediate crude had been over $40 a barrel. It's now down 0.3%. at $39.71 a barrel. COMEX gold's up 0.5% at $17.8880 an ounce. The dollar yen, 107.54. The euro, $1.1237. The pound, $1.2473. Facebook's been accused of systemic discrimination in hiring, compensation, and promotion of black people in a complaint to federal civil rights authorities. A complaint today to the U.S. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission by a Washington-based operations programmer adds pressure on the social network, which is facing an advertising boycott over its failure to remove violent, divisive, racist, and discriminatory posts. Right now, Facebook's down 2.3%. That's a Bloomberg Business Flash. I'm Greg Jarrett.
This is Bloomberg Markets with Paul Sweeney and Bonnie Quinn on Bloomberg Radio.
Well, the narrative of the COVID-19 pandemic really over the last week to 10 days to 2 weeks perhaps has been the surge in cases in key populous states such as California, Texas, Florida, Arizona, states that had generally been lightly touched by this virus in the early stages. To get a sense of kind of where we are, where we're headed, we are so fortunate to have Lauren Sauer with us. She's assistant professor of emergency medicine at the Johns Hopkins School of Medicine. And I might note that the Bloomberg School of Public Health is supported by Michael Bloomberg, founder of Bloomberg LP and Bloomberg Philanthropies in this radio station and TV station. Lauren, thank you so much for joining us here. Some really grim numbers coming out of some key populous Sunbelt states. What's your take?
Yeah, I think that what we're seeing is the impact of reopening too soon, essentially. And I don't think it's unreasonable. Dr. Fauci the other day on some of his testimony said that he expected that we could possibly see 100,000 cases here in the U.S. and per day. And I think we're headed there. You know, we had a 50,000 cases day yesterday, and
okay, Bitcoin is moving our way, so I'm placing a stop on profit for 2 positions at 9,100. Okay, so stop for 2 positions at 9,100 right here. As you can see, 1 position I opened will be lost, another position will be in profit. Okay, so this is how we trade, so we will see. And now I'm moving down my stop on profit to 90. I'm moving down, stop on profit for 2 positions to 66. Oh, it's really moving down. 56. We have 2 positions in profit right now. Okay. We closed position. Okay, position closed on our Bitcoin at 9,056.
It is a day-by-day thing. There's a lot of science happening really, really quickly, and we have to be a little careful with the science that's coming out. You know, there's been an uptick in the use of preprints, which essentially is research that's being published before it's been peer-reviewed, and so how we use that information to make operational decisions has to be, you know, a little better understood. I am partial to the Hopkins resources. I think we're doing, I may be a little biased, but I think we're doing a lot of really good work. And, you know, there's a lot of really good resources on the Hopkins site. And I think information, outbreak.info is a website by Scripps that I really like that is calling research together, and it's been really valuable. It's updated regularly, and it's really useful. So there's a lot of sites out there. It's just a matter of, parsing through it. Sometimes it feels like information overload, and I think part of that is because this is so new, and we are adapting our approach based on new information, that it feels like there's this overflow of info.
Well, Professor, when I think of Johns Hopkins, I think of two things: lacrosse and world-class kind of science, medical, knowledge, and that's why we're so fortunate to have folks like you and the other folks at the Johns Hopkins talking with us. We appreciate that. One question is, this whole mask, you mentioned kind of the mask-wearing thing. It's kind of a second nature for us here in this part of the country, but I know in a lot of parts of the country, it's really not. Does that require some type of federal mandate, if you will, to wear masks in public? How do you think we play that?
Yeah, a federal mandate would be one option. I think those can be challenging to enforce. I think we also have to respect the state police powers that give the states the authority to enact public health measures and health care measures. I think the biggest thing, honestly, is the messaging and the communication around it. We're in a bit of a trust vacuum when it comes to, public health authority and leadership and messaging, and we have to find a way to make the masking or the face coverings or even the physical distancing not about the politics behind it and who's supporting what, but about the fact that masks keep people safe. The evidence is telling us that. My mask is keeping you safe, your mask is keeping me safe, and together we can protect our most vulnerable communities and try to get back to some semblance of normalcy.
Lauren, our conversations with you are literally our highlights for the day, so thank you very much for making yourself always available, even with everything that's going on. Lauren Sauer is Assistant Professor of Emergency Medicine at Johns Hopkins School of Medicine, and I should say she has a Public Health Preparedness Master's in Homeland Security Management as well, so she really knows what she's talking about. And that outbreak.info, once again, that website, potentially another source of information for us all.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Stocks pairing an early rally with the Dow up more than 100 points. A surge in virus cases tempering optimism with better than estimated jobs data. The rebound in the labor market accelerated as the economy reopened more broadly before a pickup in coronavirus infections that puts additional gains in jeopardy. Payrolls rose by 4.8 million in June, with the unemployment rate falling for a second month to 11.1%. Millions of Americans are about to face big jumps in their electric bills this summer. Soaring temperatures are expected this month and next. Millions who are home will run air conditioners longer than usual. The result's electric bills that could jump 25%. And Jeff Bezos' fortune has smashed through its previous peak, and that's after he gave up a quarter of his stake in Amazon as part of his divorce settlement last year. According to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, his world-leading fortune is at more than $171 billion. Courtney Donahoe, Bloomberg Radio.
Listen, as a hiring manager, I've got to tell you, the best job candidate isn't always the typical candidate. Sometimes they're a grad of life.
Meet the grads of life. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
Sometimes the best candidates aren't the ones you're used to.
Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
The best of Bloomberg Business Week every business day.
We've got a market sell-off that's spreading around the globe.
The Bloomberg Business Week podcast with Carol Masser and Jason Kelly.
Let's do the Bloomberg Business Week bite of the day, Carol.
The day's breaking global business, finance, and tech news, along with smart analysis.
We know the Fed is going to be sure and steady.
The Bloomberg Business Week podcast.
A great scoop on the terminal.
Listen today on BloombergRadio.com, the Bloomberg Business app, or subscribe on Apple Podcasts. COVID-19 on
Different adapts, different overcomes, different keeps moving, different keeps thinking, different stays connected, different never stops dreaming. The University of Northampton invites you to a virtual open day for a taste of all the benefits of studying with us from this September. Search University of Northampton Virtual Open Days. It's the future, but different.
Hey, I'm Robin, one of the tech experts, here to help you at Curry's PC World. I'm not just a voice on the radio. You can now come into your local store and talk tech with a human being like me. Just the news you needed this afternoon. We've put all the right measures in place to help you again safely in your local Staples Corner store. The tech experts are back in town, so come in and see if that vacuum can take care of your well-trodden home. And welcome back to your local Curry's PC World.
In line with government guidelines, face coverings are now compulsory on public transport. At Asda, you can get a 4-pack of Prima disposable face coverings for £2.80, or a 2-pack of washable face coverings from £2.50. Asda, we're all in this together. Selected stores subject to availability.
Listening has always taught us a lot at Honda. And lately, we've been listening to your thumbs. Because thumbs can do everything now. The world is at their thumb tips. So now, the My Honda Plus app lets the thumb take control of your car too. Even when you're not inside the new Honda E, your thumb can find where you parked, set the temperature before you get in, check how much the battery is charged, and schedule charging for when electricity...
All right. As you can see, with Bitcoin, we have 1 pip equals 10 pounds, not like with Forex pairs. So in this case, by selling Bitcoin, we have first position, higher position, we have profit 880 pounds. Another position, we have 200 pounds in profit. We sold Bitcoin at 9056. Okay, so we hold it for how many? For a couple of days, Bitcoin. So we made 1,080 pounds. If anybody have any questions, how we did this, what actually they supposed to do, what you're supposed to do in this case, please send us some email or request. We'll try to answer all of your questions.
Broadcasting in your area? Discover local news, talk, and music stations. Navigate to the local radio section under Browse to listen locally on TuneIn.
Trey Wingo here from ESPN's Golic and Wingo. Every morning, Mike Golic Jr., and I sit down to discuss all the news, drama, and highlights spinning the sports world that day. And with TuneIn, you can hear us whenever and wherever you go. Just search Golic and Wingo and start listening today.
How do hockey fans know what day it is? Just turn on the Locked on NHL podcast, where our rotating cast of hockey experts guide you through the week with a different theme show for every day. From big news Monday to recap Friday.
But we've got a couple of news items that are noteworthy in the NHL in the last week, one of which is below the NHL, and we'll bring that up first. So the AHL announced officially, this has been speculated for weeks and weeks, but the AHL...
Search Locked on NHL on TuneIn to listen.
Broadcasting live from the Bloomberg Interactive Brokers Studio in New York. Bloomberg 1130 to Washington, D.C. Bloomberg 99.1 to Boston. Bloomberg 106.1 to San Francisco. Bloomberg 960 to the country. Sirius XM Channel 119. And around the globe, the Bloomberg Business app and BloombergRadio.com. This is Bloomberg Markets.
Coming up, we're going to chat about the municipal bond market with Joe Mysak, a news editor for Bloomberg Briefs. Get his thoughts on states facing a cash crunch. Plus, Barry Ritholtz, Bloomberg opinion columnist. We're going to get his thoughts on the market here as we deal with a better-than-expected jobs number here. But first, let's go to Greg Jarrett of Bloomberg News for a Bloomberg Business Flash. Greg.
Stocks are higher, Paul, but well off earlier highs. The stocks gained on speculation that a second wave of cases could jeopardize an economic rebound from the sharpest contraction on record. Investors say they have hope for the next pandemic stimulus package, though. Larry Kudlow, director of the National Economic Council, tells Bloomberg what the president has in mind.
He's talked about helping the restaurant industry, the tourism industry, the entertainment industry with better business write-offs. He's talked about capital gains. He's talked about investment write-offs. There's still a very large package here, and we won't know until we go into these negotiations.
Right now, the S&P's up 0.8% up 25. The Dow is up 0.9% up 222, and the Nasdaq is up 0.75% up 73. The 10-year's up 1/32. The yield is 0.67%. West Texas Intermediate crude is back above $40 a barrel. It's up 1% at $40.21 a barrel. COMEX gold's up 0.6% to $17.90.50 an ounce. The dollar yen 107.56. The euro's $1.1240 and the British pound $1.24.76. Well, that's a Bloomberg Business Flash. I'm Greg Jarrett.
Now on Bloomberg Markets, Unis in Focus with Joe Mysak.